number one thing that I did not expect when I first got this bag. Hi all and welcome back to my channel today. I'm going to be showing you a 1-year review on my Mulberry Alexa bag. This is a very special bag to me. When I first bought it, it really did fill the joy in my heart. I've used it several times and I've definitely put it to good use. So I'm going to tell you whether or not the wear and tear has really taken over the bag or if it has held up well. I'm going to be explaining realistically how much I use this bag and whether or not I still think it's a worthy purchase today. Keep on watching, but please first subscribe and like this video. So the Mulberry Alexa bag was inspired by Alexa Chung, who is an amazing fashion designer. She's an actor, a model, she's done so much and she is well beloved here in the UK. I just love the color of this bag. It is so beautiful. I chose it in a chestnut color and I just really think that it works with so many outfits in spring and summer, especially if you want to have that more vintage look. This definitely helps with those outfits. The leather on this bag is a top grain leather, so it is thick and durable. When you feel it within your fingers, you know you are getting thick pieces of leather. This really helps with the durability of the bag. Of course, it does come with its downsides. This bag can be quite heavy after carrying it for a few hours. Even with nothing in this bag, it can feel quite weighty. However, it really depends on what you're using the bag for to really decide whether or not it'll be the bag for you to take out on that day. This bag is also water resistant, so when it does get rain on it, of course it will be noticeable, but it definitely does not leave any watermarks and it doesn't patina very easily. So first, let's get into the wear and tear over 1 year of owning this bag. So when we think about wear and tear, a lot of the time we think about the areas that are most exposed. So the back of the bag obviously is a place where you will experience quite a fair bit of wear and tear. If you're wearing dark fabrics like jeans or even black clothing that is not in a jean material, you can still transfer on this bag and it will happen over this area. Usually the bottom corners of the bag also can get a little bit of wear and tear as well, just because they are rubbing things quite regularly. There are some areas that are completely rubbed off, but they're so faint and they don't take away the beauty from this bag. The handles on the Mulberry Alexa are like a smooth appearance, so the rest of the bag is a pebble sort of finish, but the handles are actually quite smooth, and over time these will patina slightly and get a little bit darker. This does add a slight bit more character to the bag and I don't mind it, as mine haven't darkened too much, and I do wear this bag a lot more top handle than I do as a crossbody or a shoulder bag. So the patina is not really dark on this bag, which is fantastic. However, if you wanted to protect this, you could use a scarf to wrap around. Stop color transfer, there is a spray that Mulberry also has available if you want to purchase, and you can spray the entire bag and then spray it again, and this can help a little bit with color transfer, but I found that this spray more was protecting it from the weather and the rain and water spillages than color transfer, as when I did spray it I still got a lot of color transfer on my bag. Because the Mulberry Alexa does not have any feet at the bottom of the bag, it can get a little bit worn if you do put it down on rough surfaces. I try not to do this. I try and always place it down on a table or over a coat or a jacket, just because I know that there's no feet protecting or supporting it in any way. So how do I keep the shape of this bag looking so plush? A few videos ago, I did talk about some of the areas of this bag that looked like they were warping and how I thought that the bag perhaps looked a little bit like it was sagging already, and that was generally around here. Well, since then, I have kept the bag quite stuffed, and that is not very noticeable. So I like to stuff this bag every single time I am not wearing it when it's stored away, and it's sometimes in there for weeks. I will just keep it nice and stuffed, and this really does make quite a difference with the shape of the bag. Even if you do wear it quite strenuously for a day and then you stuff it after that, the shape almost comes back to the bag. So I do like to keep this well stuffed, and that will just preserve the life of your Mulberry Alexa. The hardware will get quite scratched. Mine has a few scratches on it, but really they're not that serious, and it's almost like they've buffed away over time. I can't really notice them when I look at it now, or maybe I've just accepted the fact that it can get scratches, but it does still look very brand new to me. Of course, when you are storing this bag also, you do want to keep it away from direct sunlight, as this will age the leather and also fade some of the colour of your bag. So it is a good idea to keep it in a closet. I keep mine in a display cabinet, which is out of direct sunlight all the time. And this has helped so far to keep my bag looking brand new still. So there is a question, and this question comes to mind to a lot of people when they are buying bags, is this bag going to be sufficient for daily use? Now, this is very subjective on depending on who you ask, and I find that it really depends on what your lifestyle is and what you think you're going to be doing with this bag. Obviously, the Mulberry Alexa cannot fit even a 13-inch laptop. So for a work bag, if you are carrying a laptop, then this is probably not the best solution. However, if you are just wanting an occasional bag to carry all your belongings, things like a scarf, a book, or a water bottle, all that sort of thing is not a problem at all. It's very sufficient for that. Another thing to factor in mind is the weight of the bag. Some people find this quite heavy, and it can, kind of make you a bit tired after a little while on the shoulder, or even if you're carrying it on the crook of the arm, this can still be quite strenuous after a few hours of carrying it around. So it really depends whether or not you want something that is big and also quite heavy, or if you're after something that is quite big, spacious, but very light, then maybe rethink the materials that you would like to carry your bag with. So leather is probably not a great option unless it's quite a thin version of leather, or canvas or cloth would be a great option as well. The number one thing that I did not expect when I first got this bag would have to be the fact that it's not that easy to access. When you do your research on this bag, you do think that, okay, it has got these magnet straps, so it's easy, you can pop them over, you don't have to unscrew this. And yes, this is very true, and this helps the bag look so beautiful and elegant. However, it's not really something that you think about when it comes to ease of access. Now, of course, this is very nitpicky, but for me, I do find that I prefer to have a bag that is completely open, and I can just either carry it under my arm or on the crook of my arm. This is really more my style of bag. So when I did get this bag, I did realize that opening up this and then these, and then flipping it over, and sometimes those magnets get stuck again. So if you are trying to pull it, that's very difficult. You actually can't. So you do have to use more than one hand, and then you can open up the bag. This process can be a little bit tedious when you are either living in London where it's very busy, or if you're someone who has their hands full all the time. I find that a bag that is constantly open like this obviously is not great for security, but it's very easy to just grab your hands in and grab whatever you need and shuffle about. But the fact that this always has to come over for the bag to be worn, because you can't just carry the bag open like this. I mean, you could, but it's not exactly what the bag was designed to look like. So I find that this is something that, oh, I was looking for that. I find that this is really something that is harder to navigate. So closing it like this and then doing this can be a little bit tedious for some people. But then isn't it worth it when you look at the bag? Doesn't that just look beautiful? So yeah, a big one to keep in mind if you're someone who likes a very easy access bag that only takes one hand to use, then maybe rethink your options. I use this bag mostly on weekends and when I'm going to the park, or if I'm going on a day trip, if I'm wearing a floral dress, if I'm wearing something pretty like this. I find that this bag is just absolutely perfect and it complements the outfit and lifts it up to another level. You will always get people looking at this bag and thinking, oh, that is gorgeous, all the time, every single time you wear it. There is a huge love and appreciation for Mulberry classic bags, and people continue to love them till today. So it is one of those things that, you know, you can take a little bit of the bad because the good is actually going to outweigh it a lot more. I've had a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this bag in terms of wearing it. Also, I do find that the size of this bag is actually quite wide from the body. So when you do wear this bag as a crossbody bag or a shoulder bag, it will hit a lot. It will get in the way and it will almost like bounce off your legs like this. I do not like this. I'm not a fan of wearing this bag, particularly crossbody or with the strap. If I've been out and about all day and it's been hours and I've been carrying my bag on the crook of my arm, which I would usually do, then I will take the strap out and put it onto my shoulder just to make it a little bit easier and a bit faster and give my arm a break. However, I don't tend to wear this bag for hours on end and I'm not carrying it constantly, so I tend not to use the strap too much unless I'm particularly tired. So would I still recommend this bag in 2023? Is it something that I still use enough and would want to keep in my future collection? Well, the answer to that is, of course. I do really love this bag as much as I find it quite annoying to wear sometimes. I do think that the many beauties that it has in just its design really do make it special. It's not something I use all the time, and now that I've collected so many other brands, I'm a big fan of Dior bags, and I also, you know, like to experiment a little bit more with other designs as well. But I definitely think that this bag is a great bag to get into your closet for a more luxury experience, and something that will bring you joy if you learn to love its little quirks. If you are someone who needs something grab and go and you're not one to fuss around with buckles and clips and magnets and both hands at once, then do not get this bag because you will be quite disappointed with the fussiness that it has. So you really do have to like a fussy bag. And I must admit that I am more of a fussy bag person, because when I do think about the Lady Dior's, they are quite fussy. The handles are always falling around, they jingle. It's a bag that's not very stable, so it can fall over, especially the smaller sizes. However, I do love the design of that, and that really is what makes me drawn to that sort of style. Of course, it's fine to go to work with a tote bag. That is always very practical and very easy to use. But a lot of the designer bags that I actually collect are evening bags and bags that I'll carry when I'm not going to work. So I think it really depends on what your goals are with your bag. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I do love Mulberry bags, and I'd love to hear what you think about the Mulberry Alexa bag and whether or not you find the same things to irk you a little bit, or if you find that it's just the best bag that you've ever purchased. I would love to know down below, and we'll see you in the next video.